What's up everyone, welcome to another video. After a very long time, I'm going to be trying one of these insane challenges again. I'm going to be trying a 1v3 with Protoss against 3 Platinum players. Now, I was thinking about doing this against 3 Golds first, but for some reason I woke up today and I felt like really challenging myself. This is going to be a tough one. Let's do it. The first game is going to be on Toxic Slums. Now, if we're being honest, I think this map, I probably shouldn't be able to win, but I think that's all right. We're probably going to turn this one into a best of 3. I feel like the first map in these challenges for me very often is a fast loss, and then I have to make a lot of adaptations, and then game 2 or game 3, I will start winning. So we can consider this a bit of a warm-up game. It is the most chaotic map that I can think of. Like, this map is extremely chaotic. So normally with Protoss in these challenges, I found out that it's better to play the macro approach. It sounds very tempting to go for like the adepts first and try to do a lot of damage, but realistically with Protoss, it's better to just get the freaking golden armada, you know, like whether it's mass carriers or just getting like a death ball with Stalker Colossus or something like that, those would both work. But like I said, this is going to be a warm-up game and this is a chaotic map, so I think it would be smart for us to still try to go for the adepts and just see if we can get lucky here. Like, this really is going to be our first look into this challenge. Is it even going to be possible? I guess we'll see. On this map, once again, I'm really not quite sure. Now, our opponents are Terran, Random, and Protoss. So we either could get one of each race or we're going to get one duplicate. I think I would like to play the least against another Protoss because PvP tends to just be, especially early on, it tends to be kind of, you know, whoever just makes the most units is going to be in an advantage because it's going to be like Stalkers against Stalkers, and there's not going to be that much out microing and stuff. I think I would prefer if the last guy was Zerg, because then I could do a significant amount of damage with my Adepts, I think. If there's not going to be a Zerg from the random, it's already going to be a lot harder, and then if he's Protoss, it's going to be even harder. Now, I think a good strategy would be to go for a Stargate after the initial Adepts. I really think I'm just going to have to do an absolute crap ton of damage here, ideally to all of them as well. Like, if there's one thing we've learned from these challenges is that even if... Oh, nice, he is actually Zerg. If you leave even one of them alone for too long, they're going to get too much stuff, and it's just not going to be very pleasant at all. Like, they're going to be making battle cruisers or carriers or lurkers, ultralists, you name it. It's just not going to be a lot of fun for us, so I think I want to try to do damage to all of them. It was no, that was a hatch first, right? That we saw. I think it was a hatch first. Sometimes I get a bit confused on these different maps with the scouting timings and stuff. So here goes the Stargate. He is chrono boosting. Okay, this is interesting. Chrono boosting Warp Gate and not the actual gateway itself. That could be promising for us, actually, guys, because that means there's not going to be that many units on the field. Now I'm going to get these first 2 Adepts out, and then I think I'll make one more just for the Reaper. Like, these 2 Adepts are going to do as much damage as they can, but I don't want to delay my expansion for too long. I just want to make sure I don't die to a single Terran unit, pretty much. So I want to make 1 Adept just for the Reaper. Oh, he took the gold already, too. Ooh, that is quite interesting. And that's also something I need to keep in mind, because that could be pretty dangerous later on if I let that up for too long. So far, these Adepts are doing a really good amount of work. He went for Roaches instead of making a Queen right away, so that's going to be quite nice for us as well. I mean, at this rate, I'm going to be tempted to make even more Adepts, but I just don't think it's that good of an idea. I mean, this is a fantastic amount of damage, and to be honest, this is usually the amount of damage I would do with the Adepts, because Adepts are just so freaking good at this. But once again, my expansion is going to be quite delayed here. Now, I haven't seen anything from the Terran side yet. So I'm going to target this one down as well. The Zerg is pretty much out of drones. I don't think he's... Surprisingly, he hasn't made any Roaches yet. What really is, you know, the unit that I was scared of all this time. For some reason, I thought that was going to be a Spore Crawler, by the way. I'm not quite sure why. Okay, so the Stalker has arrived. That does mean that I can maybe sneak into the Protoss player's main base here. Maybe I can try to sneak some drones from here. Doesn't look like there's actually mining. It's probably going to be on that gold base if I had to guess. Maybe I should check there first. Now I'm going to get a battery out front here. There are indeed a couple of drones mining. I'm going to try to kill those right away. Terran is going for a bit of a buy. I have no idea which worker built that. Okay, I guess it's going to be that one. I feel like I should be going for either a Robo or more oracles, because more oracles can actually deal with a 3 racks, but it is a little bit of a risky approach. Now keep in mind, we have done an absolute crazy amount of damage, but we still have only dealt damage to the Zerg player, right? We haven't done any damage to either the Protoss or the Terran, so we are still playing in a very significant deficit here. Yeah, I feel like it's always the same. Like, it feels so good until you realize how much work you actually have to freaking do. Now, this is going to be player number 2 that I'm going to be attacking. This is going to be a very good amount of damage as well. Here we go. Should be able to clear out most of this mineral line already. Looks like it's a 4-gate blink of some sorts. Man, these oracles are doing a crazy amount of work. Holy cow. Now, if I can really, do this amount of damage to one player, then maybe we are going to be able to play, I guess, somewhat of a 1v1. It's never really going to be a 1v1 where, please. Oh, I can't believe we got that last hit off. That sucks for us. Because the Terran is going to be ahead of us. Now, he is sending those units over there. I can always use the Oracle to deal with that. It's not going to be the biggest deal. But since I lost that one, I do want to make another Oracle already. I'm really scared of the Terran player. I think, you know what? I'm going to put a stasis down here. I feel like that is a decent idea. Okay, there's a couple Zerglings over here. Shouldn't really be doing too much damage, to be honest. Okay. So I can't believe that that was not in range of the freaking... Wait, that pile is not in range of the Nexus either? Okay, well, yeah, I mean, that's... No, he's gonna trigger my stasis. I actually really wanted that for the bio. If I don't have that for the bio, guys, I'm genuinely going to be terrified here. It's also going to give him free vision all this time, which is really annoying. Oh, he's going to drop into the main base. This I actually like for me. This would have been way harder if it was an attack on the front. That is for sure. These oracles are going to be able to clean this up very effectively. Maybe I can kill a couple of medevacs as well. Doesn't seem like it, but that was a very good start for us, honestly. Now, I really hoped he would have been attacking in here, but it doesn't seem like it. Let's see, did I kill everything in those medevacs? I'm not 100% sure, but maybe I did. I think I should go for the Zerg player, because the Zerg player is most likely droning up like crazy right now. I'm going to get a couple more probes over here. Let's see if I can do anything with these units. Actually, I'm going to check the Zerg player, like I said. I feel like that's a bit of a smarter idea. He does have charge already, which is going to be quite difficult to deal with. There we go. I'm going to kill all of those drones over there now. And we should be able to get a pretty decent fight over here. So all of those drones die one more time. He is going to be recalling those stalkers. That's pretty much what I expected once I saw that he was going to be stuck. And now we have our first Immortal out, which is really nice. That's a pretty significant buy army, I have to say. These sadly do not have enough energy to kill. Oh, this is so nice that he came back for that, by the way. I don't have enough energy to kill his stuff, but he did come back for me, which I really appreciate, I would say. I really, really appreciate that. Now, he doesn't have a base here yet. That is to be expected. Probably has... Oh, he took the one on the inside. Yeah, I guess that does make sense. I can see that be the case. Oracle. He was probably trying to tell his teammate that, but he told me instead. I mean, I appreciate that too. He was focused... Wait, did his teammate just distract him? His teammate said Oracle, and it looked like he wasn't looking there for a second. That's a pretty good distraction. I appreciate that one, my Zerg friend. Or was it the Protoss? No, it was actually the Protoss that said that. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I'm going to drop a couple of force fields here. Those tanks are going to be extremely dangerous. I think I will just try to jump on top of the tanks right away, and then I'll run away with this leftover Immortal that I'm going to have. I'm going to send these back now. He does still have the one Viking, I believe, right? I think there was one Viking left there that I need to be a bit careful for. Let's see. Yeah, oh no, it's actually two Vikings. Yeah, I don't think I can hold this attack, to be honest, guys. This attack is looking mighty freaking powerful. The charge is really annoying as well. I really hope that the healing on those batteries is going to be enough for that. The Stalkers are allowed to shoot the Vikings, by the way. I really wouldn't mind if they would. Now, should I go for another counterattack? I kind of think I should. Gonna warp a couple more units there. Do not want to lose the Immortal yet. The Zealots are coming up here, and I feel like those Zealots are going to be doing too much damage. And this is pretty much what I expected on this map, to be honest. I knew this map was going to be extremely hard. This is why I picked it. I thought it was going to be a great warm-up. And honestly, we did way better than I thought. My economy was far ahead of all of the players. Only 50 supply on the Zerg, 76 on the Protoss, and 79 on the Terran, while I was still at 78. So despite dying here, I really think this was a good effort. And once again, this was a very strategic choice to choose the hardest map first. Let's go to game number 2. Game number 2 is going to be on our trusted abandoned parish. Now, this map, in some aspect, you would say is actually worse than the last one, because on this map, I'm not going to be able to do that amount of damage with my adepts. I mean, first of all, it is a lot bigger, and my opponents are also really far on the other side. Like, it's not just, let me show you guys. It's not just the size of the map, but it's also the fact that I will have to go all the way around these rocks that are there in the middle. So that is going to be that is something that we'll have to consider. Now, what I can still do is do a lot of damage with the oracles early on, right? Like, there's, you know, nothing preventing me from doing the same thing with my oracles. So I guess we'll see. Now, I'm going to take a bit more of a macro approach here. I do have to say, when it comes to the best of 3, I'm not quite sure if we're actually going to make it a best of 3. It's just a lot of times in these challenges, there's one game that's like freaking 40 minutes, and then I'm just absolutely gassed, right? So I think we'll just see. Even if we lose 0-2, if I feel like there's like improvements to be made right away and I can win the third game, maybe I'll still play a third game. You know, or if I win the next game, but it's like, you know, 5 hours long, then maybe we're not going to finish the best of 3, at least not today. I feel like in that case, I should give them a chance to win the series, of course. But if this game is truly going to last 5 hours, then we're going to do that another time. I wonder what the longest StarCraft game is I've ever played. Just talking about it now made me curious. I feel like it can't possibly be that long. I know we had a game in one of my other series that I did a while ago, probably like the Mass Raven series that was like 80 minutes or so. I feel like it was a 1 hour, 20-minute game. That is definitely not the longest game I've played, but it's probably close enough, right? Now, I saw where my opponent spawned. There is one guy over here. The dream scenario for me is just that one player is the random that got Zerg, because that means the adepts are going to do maximum damage. If the Zerg is tucked in the back, that would probably be the worst case scenario, because this is a macro map. I'm not necessarily worried about taking so much damage as I'm just about not being able to deal enough damage. So a Zerg can macro up the hardest, so if the Zerg is tucked safely in the back, that's going to be a bit of a problem. I still think... Actually, in this case, I might prefer the random to be a Terran. If he's in the back, yeah, I think that makes sense. If he's in the back, we want him to be Terran. If he's in the front, we want him to be Zerg. Because if in that case, we can still do damage with the Adepts, right? But I guess we'll have to see. Now, judging by the Protoss build from the last game, even if it's a Protoss, we might be able to deal damage with the Adepts, which can also be quite nice. I think the one benefit of playing against Zerg in a macro game is that they're at least going to give you a little time to get up to where you want to be. Like, Zergs are not usually going to destroy you with something as dangerous as, like, Blink Stalkers, right? I feel like there's almost nothing that's going to be as dangerous as Blink Stalkers early on. Or maybe, like, a big bio-tank army that's always going to be dangerous as well, of course. I'm going to start making a secondary wall over here. I think I'm even going to make a third Adept this time. I feel like that sounds right. My Stargate might even be faster, by the way, with this build. So I do think this build is going to be quite nice. Now, let's see. It is going to be the big reveal. Doesn't seem like there's a full wall, so it's probably not the Terran anyway. Oh, it is actually it is a full wall. My Adept was just quite smart. I think I saw his name quickly. Yeah, he's the player that is actually supposed to be Terran. Okay, so that is not really going to tell us a whole lot. Sadly, it does mean that we don't have the ideal scenario of having the Zerg player in the front. That would have been perfect. Now, what do I do after this is the question. I think I'm going to go for 2 extra gateways, actually. Let's see what I'm going to be able to find here. Going to make 2 extra gates, and we find the Protoss player. Oh, wait. Yo, this might have been a Nexus first, actually, guys. He was stuck in the back, so he decided... Was it Nexus first, or... No, my Nexus is also finished. No, I'm just being a silly goose right now. He did expand fast, though. Let's see, I have the Oracle over here. I don't actually want to use this yet. There's going to be a really good amount of damage to do here, though, right from the get-go. I think I'm going to go for triple Oracle. I think that would be the nicest thing I can do. I might actually go for 4 gates, you know, because I need to have enough units to defend against what the hell they're going to be throwing at me first. I'm quite happy to be doing this much damage against... you know, the person with the Blink Stalkers. That is nice. Now, let's actually see what this guy... Oh, so we're going to play against 2 Protoss players. All right, I guess, you know, I can definitely live with that. So I got 3 Oracles now. I'm going to try to do a lot of damage to the Terran player over here. That's the best thing I can do. Did a lot of damage to those guys over there, so I definitely think we've had a pretty successful start. And now I'm just going to warp Stalkers because I'm mostly afraid of... Well, I was going to say a drop, actually, but an Oracle works too. I think I'm going to kill that pretty fast. Okay, that is perfect. Really good start here, guys. Very, very happy with this so far. Still afraid of dying at the front. Also, hope I don't run into any Widow Mines. That'd be quite annoying. He does have a turret already. And now I'm just going to get in here, kill a lot of workers with my oracles here, guys. This is beautiful. Look at that. Absolutely awesome. Looks like he's going to go for charge lots again and not for blink. Same as what he did last time. I do have the stalkers in position here. That did catch me off guard a little bit. Wasn't really expecting anything else to hit after that oracle, to be honest. Let's see, he's targeting the oracles, but I should be able to get through to the main base. He does have a cannon, but is not quite in position to defend all of this. Wait, actually, it's a slow warp in, so maybe I can kill one of those. Exactly, there we go. And all right, I think we're gonna have to send a bunch of workers back because he did kill a decent amount with that liberator. Now, we still didn't do damage to the Terran, unfortunately. That would have been super nice to do. Now, this game, what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna go for a lot of blink stalkers because they give me more outplay potential. If this is not gonna end up working, then the next game I'm really gonna go straight into the death ball composition. So I'll make I would say fewer oracles even. Wait, I saw something over here. Fewer, what was that? Oh, it's just a bunch of oracles, right? Of course, I forgot that blue was also going to be making those. I'll do a little bit of a warp in. He's now going to test his, stutter stepping skills with the oracle, seeing if they're on the same level of mine. Sadly for him, I was prepared a little bit better there than he was in his main base, and I'm going to be able to kill both these oracles nicely enough. Oh, wait, I thought I killed the liberator. That's really a turret? Oh my goodness, okay, I did not see that one coming, I'll be honest. So the Liberator should be dead now, judging by the fact that my Stalker took a shot. That means it didn't unsiege. Does he have a turret here? Yeah, the turrets are very annoying, actually. Like, it's way more annoying than you would think, because I want to do damage to all of them. I feel like static defense like that is one of the best things you can do while playing against me, because it's just going to stop me from being able to do a lot of damage all the time. Now, my opponent made a cannon and a battery. Sadly for him, that is not the best defense against a couple oracles, because I'm going to be able to kill even more pros here. My army is quite big. It's not quite big enough to be able to stop a bunch of charge lots and bio, though, unfortunately. Let's see, I feel like, judging by the fact that there's nothing here... Oh, he actually went for a Phoenix. Judging by the fact that there's nothing here, I have to imagine that their army is in front of my base somewhere. So I'm going to try to go out. This is a slightly risky maneuver, but I'm going to try to go out and see if I can... Exactly. Oh, this is going to be a lot of Cyclones dead, guys. That's going to be nice. Here we go. Going to get 3 Cyclones instantly. Sadly for me, my blink is not finished. That would have made this trade even better. But that is not going to be the case here. Blink Stalkers are really going to help me a lot in those trades. He could be going for a drop in the main base now. That's why I wish I had blink earlier, because I would be able to capitalize on it right away. There we go. I'm just going to kill both medevacs, I think. That's going to make the game a lot easier for me right away. I'm not going to have to think about that anymore. Now, what do I get after this? It is quite tempting to go for something like Storm, right? That would make a lot of sense as well. I'm gonna warp a couple more Stalkers here, and then I'm gonna send those Oracles over to the main base. Let's see if I can get some free trades. He might not even have Stim, which would be quite nice for me. I'm just gonna fall back here to my batteries. I haven't seen tanks yet, which would also be very comfortable if they indeed do not have any tanks. That is gonna be a couple too many units for me to deal with. Now, I guess the next step is just to see if there's any, yeah, exactly like this, any additional bases. There is a very big base there, but nothing is mining from there, so then it's also not the biggest deal ever, of course. Let's see, I guess I'll just try to kill a couple more probes under the cannons and batteries, at least if I'm going to get the opportunity. Looks like for now we will. So my opponent went for charge and blink this time, which did cost him some additional resources. Actually, I'm going to sacrifice one of these, because I think I might be trapped over there. Definitely do not want to get trapped no matter what. I'm going to... I was going to say sacrifice. I feel like my brain always gets a little scrambled in these intense AI, or AI, there you go, in these player... I didn't mean to call them AIs, I'm sorry, guys, in these player challenges. But I was just going to saturate my base. With some Blink Micro, we should be able to trade very efficiently here. I might... You know what? I'm just going to make a Void Ray for that. I think this is going to be so much easier. So I'm going to get a lot of good trades here. That Oracle might also die, which would be really nice. And we are really going to trade successfully here. I do want to be careful for their entire army together. I think I can definitely out-micro them for a bit, but also not forever, of course. Let's see. I'm just going to kill the Phoenixes, I guess. If he wants to get a little closer, I'll just target them one by one. Void Ray should be finishing pretty soon. Is there something I can do here? But like, most likely, you know, they would have F2'd their army by now. That's why I'm gonna come back in here. These Oracles, obviously, pretty much just infinite value as long as I keep them alive, right? I think that was another I don't know, 10 probes killed or whatever. It was a crazy amount anyway. I'm going to send a couple probes back over here. Let's see if I can get some more free trades. Hopefully actually free without losing any units. That would be nice. I'm going to be able to target that Liberator as well. And now we back off as Blink is going to be on cooldown for most of these. I do think I could use a couple more gateways even at this point. I do have charge, right? Yeah, I do have charge. That's going to help us for sure. Now, is there a way to sneak past the cannon? Probably. Could be a really good chance for me to actually go for Storm now, by the way. Storm definitely going to need that once their armies get bigger. Let's see, okay, looks like they are kind of getting ready to fight. I'm definitely doubting making that extra Nexus now, by the way. Let's see. Oh, he did actually pay attention to that. That's unfortunate for us. I didn't really think I would have to pay too much attention there. There's one tank in the back. I really wish the Stalkers would freaking shoot the Phoenixes instead of just, you know, going to the front all the time. Now, I still have some battery energy. As long as I keep microing my heart out, we are going to have a chance here. Please shoot the freaking Phoenix. Here we go. I'm going to back up one more time. He did stim. And now I'm going to get a couple more Zealots up. I'm going to use my Chrono Boost on these as well. And then I'm going to start my Storm upgrade. I feel like Storm is going to be incredibly useful. And now the tanks are siege, we're just going to back off a little bit. I am slowly running out of Stalkers, though. I hope we can survive her, because I feel like we're actually in a pretty decent spot. Like, I really think this is going to be a winnable one. He's going to kill the pylon. That might be the game-winning move. I was going to be able to warp in enough units to defend that, but I feel like killing the pylon is going to be a little bit too good of a move by our purple opponent here. And I think that this means that we definitely still have to play with the ultimate late-game army type of setup. Because here, the Zealot Stalker, I mean, it was really close, but I feel like it was just barely not good enough to deal with all the stuff that I had. Now, they did split their armies, which is going to be quite good for us. The pylons never built! No, I thought I built the pylons there in time. That would have saved my life, I think. But sadly, that is going to be it for game number 2. And I mean, I think we can see it pretty clearly, right? I feel like I actually did awesome here. If you look at their supplies, they were all below 100, by the way, and I was at about 150. But I guess Zealots and Stalkers are just, like, it was really so close, but they were just barely not good enough to get it done. The Oracles definitely gave me infinite value, but in the end, I mean, there's only so much Oracles can do. So after this, I think we're going to go for Oracles one more time, but instead of playing Zealot Stalker, I'm just going to play a little greedy, get maybe a Void Ray or Void Ray or two to defend my main base, and then go into either a Colossus or Disruptor or Carrier army. Let's do it. All right, the final game is going to be on Abandoned Parish as well. I hosted this map because I do have a little bit of a vision for this map. If you think about how the last game went, the Liberator Harass was probably the most annoying thing that happened to me the entire game. And besides that, nothing much really happened. My front held until they really attacked with a big army. I would say probably 300 supply combined or so. And I feel like I can really shut that down in time. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go for a similar expand. I'll do 2 Adepts or 3, whatever I feel like. But I'm going to do the same pressure with the 2 Adepts. I'll make 2 Oracles instead of 3. And the main reason for that is it's the adaptation to the Terran player, right? Because the Terran player always makes turrets. If you guys were wondering, the only reason I actually make the 3 Oracles is because you need 3 to one-shot SCVs. So I was thinking, if I want to do damage to all of them, I'm gonna need, you know, 3 Oracles. But I wasn't able to do damage to the Terran anyway, because missile turrets come online really early and they're really good, extra range and stuff. So I think I can just make 2. Then I'm either gonna make just 1 or 2 Void Rays or a bunch of them, depending on what I think I need to survive. 1 is going to be necessary for the Oracles and Liberators. The second one is going to be potentially necessary for my second base. And then if I want to make more, it's going to be because I want to defend against the Blink Stalkers. Yeah, the big problem with that is that the more Void Rays I build, the slower my tech is going to be. So I think I'm just going to adapt to what I see. And just try to make the best decision in the moment. Like, it's also very possible that the Protoss player is actually going to go for straight Blink this time, instead of making the charge first, because I've been kind of owning him with the Oracles, right? So that would also make a decent amount of sense. And in that case, I'm going to need my Void Rays a little earlier. But I think what I want to play is probably Void Ray Colossus. I feel like if I Void Ray Colossus, I should be able to stop most things. If I think about how they have been playing so far, the hardest thing about the Void Ray Colossus would be siege tanks, because the Void Rays are going to be kept at bay by the anti-air that they have, which is mostly the Marines, but also the Stalkers and potentially what, random player number 3 is going to have. But maybe if I have like shield batteries in the front, then I can always play a little bit of a baiting game. My micro should be, at least I freaking hope so, superior to one of them, because if it's not, then, how on earth am I ever going to win a 1v3 here? But I think that is the plan. And then there's a lot of ways I can follow that up. I can go for Zealot harassment. I can go for carriers right away. I could even go for Storm. I could go for DTs. There really is a lot of freaking things we can do. Now, one thing I picked up on the end of the game that you guys might not have noticed is that my opponent also went for DTs. Now, I do think it was the random player, so it's possible that we're not going to see that again, but my opponent did go for DTs. So it could be the case that we're going to have to defend against DTs the next time. Let's see if I can catch the Reaper. It's going to be a very decent amount of damage done. I'm actually surprised that he didn't just go away instantly. Okay, there we go. That's going to be a nice kill. The Protoss player is going to spawn here. I think that is quite fortunate for us because we're going to be able to do a little bit of damage right away. And I saw something else that I really liked there, and that is that there is already a forge. And the reason I like that is because I imagine that means that they're going to be making cannons really early for the oracles, but that means that the rest is going to be coming online a little slower. So I definitely like what I'm seeing so far. I might actually have to defend a little bit closer to my base so I can battery overcharge. I think that makes sense to do as well. Oracle is going to be arriving very, very, very fast. I think I'm going to get my extra gases right away and probably the Robo already as well. So let's see, we have these two units over here. The Oracle is already going to be going into the main base. And this is going to be a very significant amount of damage right off the bat here, guys. Look at this. Going to get these over here as well. Now, this is probably the most amount of damage I've done so far because it's also incredibly early. This Oracle could die if he would target it with both of his Stalkers, by the way, but he wasn't doing it so far. Let's see, he's going to run out of energy now, so I'm just going to be saving it. Second Oracle is going to come in, but I don't think I want to use it yet. Let's get Void Rain number 1 out, start saturating this base. Now I think I'm going to make a couple of batteries at the front already as well. That is a... Oh, that sucks. That is a more painful outward missile turret than they had been making previously. So that is really, really painful at the start because that means I'm not going to be able to do that much damage anymore to the Protoss player. Now, is that the red? Yeah, okay. So we're playing against 2 Terrans this time. That is very important to notice. It's actually funny. I guess I could have told that by the position of the missile turret because it was different from how the other Terran has been building them. Now, not something, I would have picked up on, honestly, in the chaos of everything. But the turret should probably... Yeah, exactly. The orange Terran builds the turret there every time, and the random player is going to build them in a slightly different spot. Let's see, it's probably going to be a turret there already as well. Exactly. And then I'm going to make my third Nexus. I am being pretty greedy here. I mean, I can't deny it. I'm definitely being pretty greedy. Let's see. And there's no missile turret over here. Okay, so that is the first weakness that we have found. I'm going to start making my Colossus. This Oracle is already on freaking, what was that, 12 kills or something? It said that it really is not bad at all. Now, let's see. Am I gonna need more batteries or more Void Rays? This is the scariest part by far because I really am just being a little greedy. Like, I'm not gonna have the typical, anti-early game unit attack defense that I would normally have. I think I could make a Forge as well. I do like the idea of going for a Forge. Okay, I like this. He's making a lot of turrets, which means that his army is gonna be a little smaller than it probably should be. Definitely a big fan of that. Do I make another Robo or another Stargate? I think I should go for another Robo here. So I can really get... Like, they haven't made a big ground army so far in any of these games, really, right? So, or a big air army, that's what I wanted to say. So I think I can probably do it like this. I'm going to get these gases up already as well. And this greedy approach really has done pretty well for me, I think. I'm going to get the armor upgrade, or the attack upgrade rather, and then I'll start making cannons. Now, the damage I've done is significantly less than before. That is undeniable, but my economy is better. And I'm actually making late game units this time, which I think is a pretty big deal. Now, let's see. Are there cannons here? There are... Well, I guess there's one cannon. Can I actually kill something? Okay, that was pretty scary to do, not gonna lie. I probably shouldn't have done that, but it is what it is. Now, we are gonna face an attack here already, and sadly for us, there is a tank. Oh, but that army is smaller than I thought. There was a tank there, but the army is quite small, and we're gonna be able to do a lot of damage here already. Okay, that is exactly what we wanted to see. Now I'm gonna be able to deal damage there. I have the Void Rays against the Vikings, and here you can see why this composition is very, very strong and completes each other. This was, by the way, the main Protoss composition in Wings of Liberty. Not even kidding. Like, literally all the way back in Wings, this is how you played Protoss. You just played Void Ray Colossus against Zerg. Just A-moved when you were 2 out of supply. That is quite literally how it worked. Now, our opponent, or at least our purple opponent, does have 3 bases already too. That is not something that we like seeing. I think I'm just going to expand to this 4th base myself as well. This game is already so much different from the other games that we have played, right? Let's see, did he build a cannon here already? He doesn't have a cannon here yet, so I guess I'll just try to kill some workers for now. He does have a bunch of stalkers already, so we're going to try to dodge those, of course. Now, let's see, what am I going to be building? Probably more Colossus. I don't want to have a million Colossus, because then an army like Vikings is going to be too strong. What I could do is either go into carries already or go into Void Ray speed. I feel like neither of those options would be so bad. Let's see what this Terran is up to. Looks like he's making a decent amount of Vikings. 2nd factory already too. So that is going to be a mech player. I really don't mind that at all, because Void Rays are quite good against mech. I do need to get a fleet beacon now, though. I feel like if I don't get a fleet beacon right away, that's going to be a little bit painful for me later on. Let's see, how many probes do I have? I have 72 probes. My economy is quite decent now. I'm just going to start making a couple cannons here and stuff. So they have noticed that I'm already playing a little different than I was before. I kind of am tempted to make another Stargate here instead of more Colossus right away. Because actually I need an upgrade for the Void Rays, right? Because I think the counter to my army is going to be mostly air-based. I could be wrong in that, but I feel like it would make sense for them to make air. I'm going to make some Immortals instead of more Colossus, because my army is quite strong already. At least when it comes to the splash damage, I would say that my army is definitely quite advanced. Then this is going to finish. I'm going to go for the Void Ray speed upgrade, get a couple of extra gases up. Now, it does suck that this Void Ray got health, or this Colossus got health damage on it, as well as the Void Ray, actually. That is a little bit annoying. I'm just going to send this Zealot to the front. Just to see if there's, you know, something I can find. Like, I'm mostly scared of just there being an attack that I don't see coming or something. I feel like that would be quite hard. Looks like... Oh, he's not taking that base. He was just... Oh, he... Huh? How did I not see that initially? Also, I saw it on the minimap, but I didn't see it when I was actually looking there. So there is a pretty significant Terran army over here. It is not enough to beat my Void Rays. That is the most important thing. And make sure to actually saturate the gas, of course. Get a couple more pylons just for the power, more than anything else. I feel like I could use a couple more cannons at the front as well. My army is going to be quite good at moving around obstacles with the Colossus and the Void Rays and stuff. Now, I am really scared of the air army, guys. If the Vikings are too much, then we might die right away. That is the biggest problem. Let's see, I'm going to move out a little bit here just so I can maybe catch them unprepared. I feel like that would be very nice. Oh, they were very prepared there, actually. They dropped a couple tanks on the high ground. I don't really mind this at all, because I will be able to kill those. Yeah, I'm just worried about not having enough Void Rays for the Vikings. That's the only thing that I am truly worried about. Okay, so I'm going to try fight over here. There's a couple tanks on the low ground. Let's make sure that I'm just going to activate the prismatic alignment on those already. That the units are doing extremely well, by the way. The Void Rays are absolutely popping up against the Void Rays, and my Colossus Immortals are shredding pretty much everything on the low ground there. And this is going to be a very successful initial fight, but the Protoss player is blinking to my base, which is going to be a little annoying to deal with. Actually, oh, that is not what I wanted to do. I didn't even know what I did there for a second. I was trying to use the battery overcharge. Instead, I recalled some probes back to exactly where they were. So not the most successful move ever by me. But we survived the first attack, and that's going to be really nice. I'm going to make a double Cyber Core now. And then I think it's going to be time to get carriers. Because Void Rays, even though they... Oh, that's not what I wanted to build. Even though they are good, they do have very clear counters. Like, for example, even Widow Mines. Something very simple like Widow Mines is going to be extremely good against that. Let's see, I'm just going to kill a lot of stuff here. I could probably burn down this... I'm not sure what the upgrades on his Stalkers are going to be. Like, I feel like his Stalker should be able to kill this. I'm just gonna make... It looked like he was trying to repair his Nexus there for a second. You guys saw that? I do believe this guy plays Terran as well, so that makes sense. I'm gonna kill a couple Stalkers, and then the moment the Archons get in reach, we're gonna dip straight out of there. And I could probably use a couple cannons here as well. Now, ideally, I do get another base. I feel like this is not enough bases for me to truly win the game, even if I do get mass carriers out. I just feel like we're gonna need a little more than that. I did keep, well, not all of my Colossus, but I kept a lot of them alive, which is kind of surprising, but it's also very nice. Now, Void Rays are gonna be a very good hunting squad. Let's see if we can find maybe some hidden bases over here. I think the gold bases are the most important for now. So let's make sure that we can deny gold bases the moment they come up. I am... Let's see, can I fight? Oh, it does look like I can fight against this, but it's a little bit of a scary move by me, to be honest. Cyclones and Vikings are all pretty bad against Void Rays when they get in range. I'm also going to kill Thors here because they are in the bad mode, which is really nice. Yo, these things pop the frick off. These Void Rays did so freaking well. Okay, now we need to go away. These Void Rays actually did amazingly, right? They killed so much stuff. And, oh, I keep starting Colossus on accident. And I'm gonna make some more supply for my carriers to come out, which realistically is what we want. Okay, there's... Wait, could I... How do I have any Zealots left? No, I don't. I kind of wish... Oh, he's trying to take this base over here. We'll deny that for now. Wait, maybe I can catch him off guard. Oh, it's only 3 carriers for now. I was gonna say, he probably is gonna send his Vikings over there. So maybe I can catch them with my carriers. That would be the ideal scenario. I don't think I want any more Colossus, actually, so I might as well just cancel all of these. I'm gonna try move out and try to take this base over here. Let's see if there's anything I can catch. I need to be so freaking scared. Oh, that is really annoying there initially. Oh, that was the perfect fight for them, actually. You guys saw that? Oh, that sucks for me. I feel like the Immortal should be able to chase those carriers down, which is nice. I still need more of these. Oh, he's going to land them against Immortals? I'm not quite sure you want to be doing that. He does have... Well, the good thing for me is just a double mech army. Double mech army is really not going to be that significant. But I do think I might have to back off here against the flanking army. Like, my army was not in the best position ever. See, I'm actually killing a decent amount of these. I have enough carriers to be able to deal with the rest of his army as well, I believe. Let's see. Oh, there's a lot of Thors coming. I might have to back off for the Thors. Let's see. Gonna try to make sure that my carriers are actually shooting while I'm retreating. That's usually how you want to use those. You can probably target down those Templars instantly, by the way. Exactly. There we go. And now we're going to be back in battery territory, which is really nice. Storm, really not that great against my army over here, but it is doing a decent amount of work still. I think his Immortals are actually popping the frick off, and I think we have let them live for a little bit too long. And the fears that well, actually, I can get in range of battery overcharge. The fears that I had when starting this challenge, I guess, really came true. Like, I wanted to start with the golds first, remember? But then I tried to play against them instead. This is 2 platinum players and 1 diamond, by the way. And it looks like they are going to crush me with the Masters. GG well played is going to have to be called. And I guess that's going to be it. I mean, to be honest, I actually thought I was going to win this game. I thought that the last 2 games... The first game I was warming up a little bit. The last game was already quite good, but I made Zealot Stalker. But then this game, I was sure we were going to win. But I guess the mass Thors are just going to be a little bit too good against Skytals. Normally, Thors are not even that good against Skytals. But if you combine the rest of the army, especially the Blink Stalkers, then it's going to be hard to make counters against that exactly. Archons are good against Immortals. Blink Stalkers would be good against Disruptors. And we are not going to get a W today. I will definitely try again when I'm a little better, because in game 2 I really felt like we had a little bit of potential. If I played the Stalker style and then maybe make Disruptors, that actually sounds like the best thing I could have done now I think about it. So the next time I try this, we're gonna do that, but for today that's gonna be it. Hope you guys still enjoyed this challenge. If you did, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see y'all for the next one. Adios.